Hi guys, this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another bonus tutorial for you that I hope that you are going to like. So for this tutorial, I am going to be creating a folio, quick and easy, and I'm going to be using some scrap pieces of paper. So I'm going to be using my scraps from the Sound of Winter collection by Ciao Bella. I think I love it. I have not a lot of paper, but I think we can still come out with a beautiful project. So let me show you what I have to work with. I have quite a lot of pages. I think I have 4 full pages, and then I have the inside of my cover, which is a full size page there as well, and I love this little fox. And then I have the other cover from the other package that I already cut that out, but I can still use some of these. And then I have all kinds of different scraps that I think are perfect. This is all I'm going to be working with. And then of course I have some 110-pound cardstock that I'm going to be using for the whole project. Okay, so we're gonna start with a piece of 8.5 by 11. I'm going to score at 6 1/4 and at 7 inches, and we're gonna have a 3/4 inch gussets for this book here, for this folio. Okay, so we're gonna fold along the score lines, and then you're gonna have the first section on your base, and then I'm going to grab the next one, and for this one I am going to score at 1 inch, and then I'm going to score at 1 3/4, and that's gonna be our other gussets page here. And then I'm going to score at 7 inches, and then we're going to fold along the score lines here. So I'm folding along the 7 and along these 2 other pieces here as well. Now I'm going to use this 1 inch piece or section to glue it to this side right there. So let me grab my glue, and let's just add some glue on this 1 inch. Okay, and then we're going to line this up to the top right out there. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure these 2 are aligned, and then I'm going to press down, and there you go. So these folds, it's gonna go in here, and then this fold is going to go on the top, and then this one is going to come on top of both of those pieces right there. So that's going to be the outside of our folio. And now let's go ahead and open this up again and work a little bit more here on the center. So let me put this to the side, and I am going to use another one of these 8.5 by 11 pieces, and I'm going to score at 5 1/4 and at 10 1/2. And you see how so far we haven't done any cutting. It's just scoring, folding, and gluing. A very quick and easy project. So I'm folding along the score lines. Now I'm folding this one in and this one out. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm going to bring my base back. So always the one that opens here with the extra flap will go to your right, and this one will go to your left. And then we are going to glue these right here. So I'm going to glue these along the left side on the center back panel. So I'm just gonna add my glue and just add some glue right here on this 1/2 inch. Okay, and we're just gonna place this right next to that bending line without touching your bending line. Make sure this will still fold up, and then I'm just going to press down. Let me open this up again and press down, and open that up and press down. Just make sure there's no air bubbles anywhere. Okay, so we have this first flip out, and then let's go ahead and do something else here. So I am going to score another piece here at 1/2 inch. Okay, and then we are going to score this piece at 6 inches. Okay, so 1/2 inch and 6 inches, and I'm going to fold along the score lines one more time. Okay, so this time we are going to fold both the flap and the 1/2 inch towards the inside. Okay, so previously we did one in and one out, so this time we're doing both in, and we are going to bring back our book right here. We are going to glue these on the other side of this page, of the back base. So I'm just going to add some glue. Okay, and we are just going to add these to the back, or to the right side on the back side. Okay, and again, you want to make sure to stay away from your bending line just a little bit. And I'm going to open this up all the way and press down. So these two are a little bit different, because when you open this one up, this will open up another flap here, but when you open this one up, this one will open as an accordion folds, basically. Okay, so I'm gonna close this one and close this one, and now we are going to work here on the center. So now we are going to cut the next page. So again, we have an 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to cut here 2 sections of 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut at 5 1/4, and one more time here at 5 1/4. And we are simply going to score each one of these along the 8.5 inch sides at 1/2 inch. Okay, and then we're going to fold along the score lines right here. Okay. And again, let's bring back your folio, which is already getting fun and chunky here, and we are going to place these 2 pieces on top of this second piece that we just added. So I am going to glue one along the top and one along the bottom. So let's go ahead and add some glue here on this 1/2 inch section and place it right along the top. Now you want to center this because the page here on the back is 5 1/2 and this is 5 1/4, and I did that purposely so we won't be touching on your bending line. Okay, so I'm just gonna open this up and press down right there, and then we're going to add this second piece here along the bottom. Okay, so again, I am just going to make sure that it's even and straight to the edge, and then I'm just going to press down right there. And then you want to open this up and press down one more time, and there you go. So now we're gonna close this and close that. So now we are going to cut one more page here at 5 1/2. So this is again 8.5 by 11, and we're just gonna do one simple cut at 5 1/2. And I'm going to score at 1/2 inch along the 5 1/2 inch side, and same thing for this one. And what we're gonna do with this is we are going to now work on the right side. So this flap here that we have that extra bending, that's where we're gonna add that. So I'm going to fold this along the score line on these 1/2 inch sections, and I'm gonna do the same for this one. And then I'm going to bring this back here. We're going to open this up on the right, and we're going to place those two here on the right panel. So I am going to glue this and add it very close to my bending line without touching my gussets. And I am just going to add my glue. Okay, and then we are going to add this one piece here, and then we're going to open this up and press on this ½ inch section, and then I'm going to close this again, and we're going to add the second piece right on top of that one. So again, some glue. Okay, and same side right here. Okay, and then press down, and you see how many places we have here for pictures, and we did some minimal cutting, and we are basically done with the base of our folio. So this piece will fold on top and keep this section closed. Now we have to add magnets on this section to make sure this stays nice and close as well, and then we can close this up. We will add another magnet here to keep our folio closed, and that's what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna decorate this. Okay, so let's start adding our magnets. So I'm going to start from the outside. So we are just going to add, depending on what size magnets you have, you can probably add 1 or 2 on your cover. Mine are 10 by 2 millimeters. I get my magnets at Amazon. I just think you get more magnets, more value for your money that way. These are a little bit chunky, but I don't mind because they really do hold really good. So and so I'm going to switch up tapes here because I just ran out, and I'm just going to cut another piece of tape. This time I'm going to place this with the sticky side up, and since my magnets are really strong, I like to add a little bit of glue on the magnets. That way, even if my tape doesn't hold, I can see the mark of the glue where I need to put my magnet. So before you close this, you want to make sure your gussets are perpendicular to the table. Okay, that way your folio has a good shape. So I'm gonna press down on the sides, and then we're gonna open this up. I'm kind of holding the tape right there. And there you go. So we have the first magnet. Now we can open this up, and we can double up on the magnets, and we can use the same magnet here that's on the back panel to keep this closed. So I'm gonna add a magnet there and add some tape with the sticky side up, and that's where it's gonna go. So now I'm just going to add glue just in case. And now we're just gonna close this and press on the sides to make sure this sticks to the other side. So there we go. So now I'm just gonna press down on my tape. So this section is done. We have the magnets. This opens up and up. And then now we can move on to this center here. Now we need to keep this close, and then we also need to keep these close, I think, and then you can probably keep these two close as well. So instead of adding my large magnets, because I don't want to make this too bulky, I am going to add 2 magnets here, 2 of my small little flat magnets, and these are 10 by 1 magnets, and I'm going to put one here, and I am going to put one here. Okay, and I'm doing 2 because 1 won't be enough. So when I use my small magnets, it's mainly because I want my pages to be more flat, but I do need to add a couple more. So those 2 magnets are going to connect back here. So I need 2 more magnets connecting here. No, that's not it. Where are they? Right here, 1 and right here is the other. And you see how strong is the magnet here that my little magnet was trying to connect there. Okay, so that's probably another tip. If you were to add a large magnet here, make sure that you are not lined up to that one. Otherwise, when you close your pages, they're all going to conflict with each other. This is why I do now the top and bottom, and on this side we did the center. Okay, so you might want to offset it a little bit more if you're using just one magnet. So I'm going to add mine with the sticky side up here and here. Okay, that way when I close these, they will attach to the back right there. Okay, which is what I want. And then these two magnets are going to attach this way. So I'm going to do 2 more magnets here of the small ones. Okay, so I'm just grabbing another one right there. And same thing, I'm going to have the sticky side up. And same thing here. And then we are going to close this panel, and those 2 magnets should attach to these sides. There you go. So after they go in place, I like to press down on my tape really good, and then we're gonna close this up. Okay, so now we're keeping this area closed. This is keeping close. You could add a magnet here if you wanted to keep these close as well, but I really don't mind these 2 opening as long as this stays nice and flat. Now here I will add another couple of magnets to keep this other flap closed. So again, I'm going to do 2 of my small magnets along the top. Okay, so I'm just going to use my tape. Okay, so here we go. One right here and one right there, and then I'm going to add the 2 other small magnets, and we're just going to add those to the other side. So I'm trying to remember which way the magnet goes. I think it's that way. Okay, and then we're just gonna close this and press down, and there you go. So now we have all of our magnets in place, and we can now decorate. Okay, so now we can go ahead and decorate the folio a little bit. So I was looking at these scrap pieces, and they all fit like perfect on this flap, which works out really nice. For this other one, since it's a little bit larger, I think I'm gonna have to cut a new sheet, or I can paper paste, but I think I'll just cut a new sheet since I'm not gonna be saving this paper anymore. I'm gonna try to use it as much as possible. I really like this piece here, so I might do that there. And I know I want the this little guy on the center, so I'm just gonna cut around. And this collection is very rustic, so I'm gonna keep this fairly uneven to make it look a little bit more rustic and vintage, and just not, I don't want to have a lot of straight cuts, if you know what I mean. And also another thing that I want to do is let me see here if I can find my I don't have my small scissors, but what I wanted to do was to kind of break the edges a little bit and give it a little bit of distress. Now I usually have a smaller scissors to play with, but I think this will do for now. So that's how I give it that rustic look, a little bit more distressed. So I like how that looks. I'm just gonna do that all around. Okay, and a little bit more right here. So that's gonna be that. And then I think I'm gonna use this section here. So I'm just gonna cut these at 8, oops, 8 1/4. Okay, and then this will go on this side, and I love the snowflake, so I'm gonna use that. And I think I'm gonna do the same here. So here you can see the distress on this other one, and then I need to pick a piece of paper for the back and for the other side over there. So I'm just gonna look through here something that I love this one, but I don't think I'll use. I want to save the birds for the inside, and maybe I'll just use this page here, something a little bit more neutral. Now I definitely want to save this little guy, so let's see if I can fit 8 1/4. Will kind of cut his face, so I'm gonna start here. So this side I believe is 5 inches, so let me double check, so I don't remember right now. Okay, so yeah, so this is 5 1/4, so I'm gonna cut these at 5 inches, and then we're gonna cut these by 8 1/4. Okay, so, and this is going to go right here. So this one will go here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and glue it. So I'm just gonna glue this one down. Okay, so when I distress, I also don't glue this really close to the edge. That way the paper can lift up a little bit, you know, and keep that rough edge. So I'm just gonna glue it like that. And then for this one, I think I want to use this sides with the music notes because the colors kind of match a little bit better, but I'm gonna put it like this. I think that looks fine. So I'm going to do the same distress all around. Okay, so now I'm just gonna glue this piece down. Okay, so there we go. Again, I'm not gluing really close to the edge, that way we keep that distress look all around. And then we have the image here on the center, and I think this one I'm just gonna glue straight down to the paper without backing it up on black cardstock, because I do want to see that distress more than anything. So I'm going to glue this only on the one side. Okay, and we're just gonna place that right there. Okay, so there you go. And then we're going to do the back here. So I don't know if I want to use this for the back, maybe not, maybe I'll save that for the insides, but I do have a lot of pages here. I think for the back I'm going to do this here. Yes, I think I like that. So 6 inches by 8 1/4. So I'm gonna take some of the bottom off and then just go 8 1/4 up. Okay, so I think that looks nice. I would just leave this flat without all the distressing, that way it can lay flat on the table. And let's move on to the inside. Now for the inside, it's a lot simpler, you know, just cuts and paste and kind of figure out how to place your papers. I always suggest using your scraps first before cutting into a new sheet, and even within your scraps, seeing what can work without having to, you know, trim it so much. Like this one will work good in there. So I know that page is 5 1/4 by 8, so I'm going to cut this at 5 by 7 3/4, and that should be able to fit here. Now because this is the first page opening this folio, I'm also going to do the distress on this one, but I'm not going to do the distress on the inside pages, okay, because that would just create too much bulk for the inside of your pages. Okay, so now I'm just gonna glue this one down right there. You can see all the distress around that page as well. And then let's see if this one fits here. This one does fit there, so I'm just gonna trim this down. I think I like this edge better, so 8 1/4, and that will be right here. So this one I'm just gonna glue flat, and there we go. And I'm gonna take off this tape here and add this right there. Okay, so now this was one of my scrap pieces that just happened to fit in there, but let me measure this so you know. So this flap is 4 inches, so your piece will be 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. And then I'm gonna try to again use my scraps for this section there. Okay, and then this one here measures 5 inches, so I will need something that is about 4 3/4, so maybe this will work. So I'm just gonna glue this one down, and I might need a little bit of a paper piecing for the sides, but that's okay because I don't want to cut a new sheet just for this little section here on the side, so I can always add something else here from my scraps and just complete that little section. Like for example, I have something very similar to that, or I can go back and see what else I have after. Anyway, so let's move on to this center opening here, because I think this will be a good area, and I'm sorry about all this mess here on the side, but I think this will be a really cute area to do like a landscape type of page. So we will include a little bit of both sides of this page paper, and you can apply all of these techniques to any collection that you have. If you have something that is like a beautiful 12 by 12 layout like this, and you don't know how to incorporate it onto your pages, you can always do like half here, half there, so that way you can still enjoy that beautiful paper. So I think this one I have to cut at 5 inches. This right here is, I believe it's 5 1/4, and so I'm cutting this at 5 inches, and that fits perfect there. And then I think this one will also be 5 inches, so I'm just gonna put this one here to make sure. Now this one's a little bit smaller, so I will cut the other one at 4 3/4, and see how I'm going closest to this side. And then we have the void on the center, but that's okay because ultimately we just want the beautiful paper to be on display. So I am just going to add my glue and take off the tape here. So I'm just gonna do this with, that's a lot easier to do it with this. Okay, and then we're just gonna put this down here, and there you go. And then we're just gonna glue this one down as well. Okay, so there we go. So just add some glue, and this will go right in here. So cute. I love the paper in there. And you know what, I think I am going to do magnets in here. I changed my mind because I think if this is really flat, then you can really appreciate the paper in there. So I'm just gonna add these magnets. I'm going to do magnets there, and for this one I'm just gonna do one. Okay, so just one magnet. Oh, and again it will join another existing magnet in there, so that's great. Okay, so we'll do one right there and one facing up, and then we're gonna close this up, and there you go. So now we have magnets everywhere. And I'm going to now use this page here. Now this one has the beautiful window, so I think I'm going to use that. And I will cut it again at 8 1/4. So that's the good thing about making most of the layouts one size too, because it's just a lot easier to cut into this. And this one will be again 5 inches. Yes, so this one will be 5 and this one will be 6. So for that one, I'm just gonna do this side, and you can see how again we are keeping the beautiful 12 by 12 layout in there. Okay, so now we're just gonna glue this down. And remember, I had 3 full sheets and then 2 of the back, you know, the reverse from the covers for the collection, and then some scraps. So sometimes you don't really need a lot of paper, and even if you have less than that, you can always use plain cardstock on the areas that you are going to do your pictures, or you can simply leave those areas, you know, on your black cardstock and then just add your pictures straight onto it, and that really helps also avoid the bulk of the pages. So I'm gonna make sure I'm not touching the bending line, and I think I am a little bit, so I'm going to just take a little bit off here. Okay, so I might need more glue now because this glue dries pretty quickly. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna add that right here, and there you go. So then when we close that, look, I love how that turned out, that you just see a little peekaboo of the paper, not so much the whole window. And then I think here we have to do something as well. I don't know if I have that much more paper, but I do have these full page, so we could do something like that. Or I'm trying to think, because I don't want the white showing on this side. I think that would be too much white, but I can always do a different color here. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by cutting this. So this one again 4 3/4, and the other one is 4 1/4. Okay, so we're gonna put this one right there. So pretty with all the snow. And then we are going to take that and do this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna add this one here. And then when you close this, you'll see what I mean about the white. And I mean, it doesn't look bad, it's just that I kind of want some of that rustic wood looking. So I could always just add a little bit of this, and actually, you know what, I can add the whole thing and do this as a tack spot. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna glue one side and a little bit of the corners here, and I'm just gonna add this right on top. Okay, there you go. Okay, and then we can always use some tacks like this one, for example. See, this collection has a lot of different little tags, so it's definitely good adding that extra piece, because we can fill it with some of these little tags and journaling areas. Oops. And there's another one. And then you could always distress these again, but I'm just not gonna do it right now. But there you go. So then you have a nice little tuck spot in there. And so yeah, you can add maybe even this one go, another little tuck spot in there, and we are done with this side. And then we're back to the front here, and then we have this other side in there. Now you can always again work with your scraps, but I think I'm just gonna decorate here the fronts, and then I'll let you work on those on your own. So I'm thinking of doing another little collage in here, so I am going to use this little square, and I think I'm gonna do a little fuzzy cutting around this little guy here instead. Yeah, there you go. So something like that. And let me see. Some different elements. Okay, so this one, I'll probably do something like a little journal or dedication if you're making this for someone. I think that will look cute. And let's see, I'm just gonna start gluing. Now this one I'm also going to give it a little distress. Okay, so I distressed these pieces and also went ahead and cut these from the paper, and I think I lost the order of it, but I think it says winter is the color of our imagination, so I really like that. So I think I'm gonna put this down here. We can always put it on this little note. Let me think, because I wanted this like an education area, but maybe it could work here as well. Yeah, I think that should be fine. In that way you can put a picture in there. So let's go ahead and do that. So first I'm going to glue this down here on the bottom, and then I'm gonna put it to the side so I can fit this little guy right in there. And I'm actually gonna glue this one down there, but I am leaving the back open. Okay, so you can add a picture in there, and then I'm going to glue this one on top. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one here, and then it says winter is. Okay, so this one goes there, and then we're gonna do one more. Okay, and then I also went ahead and cut this piece, and I think it would look really cute either here or here. I think more on this way. And I'm just gonna put it off to the side. Okay, and this could be another little tuck spot as well. So we can take some of these ones, since this one has so many. We'll leave that one there, and then we can add some more here, and that just looks really cute. And so yeah, so now here for the front I do want to add some flowers. Let me move my scraps, and I always struggle with the flowers. I pulled so many out here, which I don't like pulling so many things out, because then it just makes it harder, you know. Usually stick to one or two different choices, but I really wanted to match the colors. It's, something more on the brownish, but then I'm thinking it's the winter. These flowers are too yellow, too much fall, and I don't know, it's kind of difficult. Maybe this one's here, more on the brown side. These are some recollection flowers I had in my stash forever, and then I feel like it will be too pale, so I definitely need another color to offset all of these, and I won't be using all of them, maybe just two. So then I'm thinking, here's where I put all of my, like the incomplete sets of flowers that I don't finish using. I add them on this bag. So I think we can find some cute things from here, like these little pieces. I don't know if the blue would do, but those pieces, and then maybe something pink, just because I love pink and I need a color to offset all this brown. So maybe this right here will do. So something like that, and then I probably need another sentiment here. So I'm just gonna do one more flower. I like the centers of these flowers, so I'm gonna do so I'm thinking this one here. So it says walking in the winter wonderland, so I'm gonna cut that out so we can add it onto the cover. Okay, so then I also found this twine here on my stash, and this is from Little Birdie Crafts, and I think it will look pretty cool if we add some type of natural element here like this. So there you go, I finished decorating the cover. I went ahead and added the burlap and the little pieces. I did switch the flower from the pink to this more natural looking flower, and I love the center on this one because it's really rustic. So I hope that you guys enjoy this little bonus tutorial. I hope that you give it a try, and if you do, always make sure to tag me on Facebook or Instagram. And I want to thank you so much again for being part of my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.